Wonderful day, everyone. Today, I am going to show you how to add APIs to your FlutterFlow project. APIs are a great way to get data outside of your application. For example, you can use API to get newsfeed to your app, or like in this example, you can get top-rated movies. So without further ado, let's start. First, we want to head to RapidAPI.com. Okay, so this place is like an app store for APIs. There are a ton of different options that you can use. Some of these cost money, but some of these are free. Let's search for IMDb. And choose this one. Okay, great. Let's add this to our project. First thing what we want to do is click this subscribe to test in order to try out whether this API will work. Now we need to choose a plan. Let's go with this free one. And subscribe. Then click Test Endpoint. Now it shows 200 OK, so we know that this works fine. Let's head back to our app. Go to API calls from the left and click on Add and create API call. Now the first step is that we give our API a name. I will call this IMDb call. Then the second step is that we choose the query type. Now as you can see, there are 5 options in here. I can confidently say that if you are watching this video, you will use get or post. Get means that we want to get data from outside source, like for example, the news feed. Post means that we want to create data to some other database. Delete is pretty self-explanatory. And put and patch is for editing data. Now down here we have headers. Usually you don't have to add headers. FlutterFlow does it for you. But in case you need them, you can find them in RapidAPI documentation. Then we have query parameters. This used to filter the query what we have for this API call. For example, now we request the whole list of movies. But in case we want only top 10 movies, we will be using this. Then we have variables. This one is very rarely used, but technically you can add if user is authenticated, make this query and stuff like that. And then there is advanced setting, which we will not be needing. Head back to RapidAPI. Take a copy of this URL. Then back to app and paste it in here. Let's try out, will this API call work? Go to response and test. And click on Test API Call. Okay, so it's showing error. Most likely the problem is that in this case, we need to add headers to our API call. Click on Add Header and go back to RapidAPI. So in this case, we have 2 headers that we need to add. Let's take a copy of this first header. Go back to our app and paste it in here. Then add second header. Take a copy of this and paste it in here. And actually we can remove the part where it says header. Then let's go test our API call again. And now it works perfectly. If you scroll down, you can see different type of data that we can query. For example, title, description, image, and stuff like that. Scroll all the way down and click on Add Call. Then it's time to show our API call. Go to Home Page. Add a list view in here. Now inside the list view, we want to add container. Inside the container, we want to add column and 2 text elements. Great, let's make the top text a little bit bigger. Also, let's make the container's width infinite. And the height we can remove. Then click on the column and add bit of padding. And I am going to also set up border color for my container so it looks better. Okay, great. Now click on the list view. Add a query to it. And query type will be API call. Choose the API that we just created and confirm. Then go to click on Generate Children. Give your variable a name. Choose max items for the query. And value will be our API call. Now this asks for JSON path. What this means is that we can either query all of the documents from our API call, or we can query just some of them, for example, just the first movie. And we do that by adding $symbol, then brackets, and number inside of them. And now it gives us only one movie. But for this example, we can leave this empty with $, and confirm, then save. Let's make our column scrollable. Then we can add data to our texts. Click on the top text and add value. This will be our variable item. Then switch this to JSON path. Now we need to choose what we want to show in this text. Go back to RapidAPI, and we want this to be our title. I am going to take a copy of this because I'm lazy. Then go back. Add dot behind the $, then paste, and create. Now all of the titles will appear in there. Then for the description, add value, variable item, JSON path. Then we want to have description, add dot in here and paste. Okay, perfect. Now we can try out our app. Now this is what our API call looks like. So we have our movie titles in here and description below it. Thank you all for watching. I hope that this video have been very useful for you. Also, I want to thank you all for the amazing support that you have been giving. You guys have been amazing. Anyway, thank you all for watching and have a wonderful day.